So follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube page. They won't censor us because we don't criticize elections. And don't forget to smash that like button like the head of an infidel. Warning, Taliban 2.0 cannot guarantee the rights or safety of LGBTQ citizens, women, animals, or any living creature.
So we got problems, but it's not just the new Afghanistan, it's the old Biden. He may be woke, but he's definitely not awake. Let's welcome tonight's guest. If she were a restaurant, all she'd be serving is straight facts. Director and former White House staffer, Amanda Millian. He went to Harvard and Yale, but don't let that fool you. He's actually smart. Author of the book Woke Inc., Vivek Ramaswamy. She's like a glow stick. Bright, fun, and often seen on the ground at a rave. Fox News contributor Kat Timm. And when he walks to work, Janice Dean reports the weather as overcast. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Television Champion, Iris. Amanda, what do you make of this mess?
Well, it's kind of so dark that it's hard to even try to have a sense of humor about it, but you've done a good job at that. That was well done.
Thank you.
I mean, the thing about it is that, you know, coming from having worked at the State Department and the White House in the former administration, it's a really dark thing to look at because they are right that it's a complicated situation and there's no good way to leave, but there's no way our administration would have let that happen. And the thing that I think people get confused about is why people get so angry and frequently point to the wokism, the obsession with like Milley and these guys, certainly our current State Department with wokism, overdoing their job is because moments like this are why we need them to be good at their basic job.
Right.
Their most basic, fundamental job is to get Americans out of harm's way and to not conduct ourselves in a way that is this embarrassing on the world stage and projects this much weakness. It's actually a national security issue. And it's so that's what's really frustrating. I think that's gotten lost is that a lot of times it's easy to sort of joke about it. Like, they're not looking at, they don't have the instructions on how to get out of Afghanistan in the white fragility book, which is true. But the frustrating thing is you're like, add your little programs, add your eons of NGOs doing female bead making entrepreneurship programs after you figure out the basics,
It's a good point. I've only had somebody who wrote a book about wokeism on the set. So, Kat, Vivek. This is why, like, when people dismiss that this wokeism isn't a big deal, it is a big deal because it replaces something.
It totally does. It replaces American fortitude. I think there's exactly one way that Joe Biden could have prevented the situation from happening. It is issuing a threat to the Taliban, a credible threat that we will completely annihilate you if you renege on your agreements and mess around with our exit from Afghanistan. And if he could do that credibly, they wouldn't have messed around. They would not have gone for Kabul. They might have done some small stuff around the edges in the tribal warlord area. They would not have gone for Kabul. But Joe Biden couldn't do it. You want to know why? Because he is obsessed with self-criticism of the United States. And even the Taliban knows that he thinks he doesn't have the moral standing to back up that threat. So that's why they went for it. And I think that's the way that wokeism destructs America on the global stage, is it reduces our moral standing to use extraordinary force precisely when we need it most. So I think that's part of it. I also just think it was incompetent. I mean, if you're Joe Biden, why wouldn't you go in the winter? Okay? We have a thing called a football season in America. The Taliban, they have this thing. I'm not even kidding you. Fighting season. It is summer. So guess what? In winter, it's cold. They have snow. That might have been a good time to go, but instead he wants the symbolism of doing it before 9/11. Now we're going to have the symbolism of the Taliban flag flying on top of the U.S. Embassy on the 20th anniversary of 9/11 when those planes hit those towers. I never thought I'd see the day, and here we are.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It was all to bake it before a date. And then when you choose a date and that you tell everybody that's what's happening, and you do it when they fight. It's a bit strange that they have a fighting season, but...
Well, we all kind of have a fighting season.
That's true. Mine's year-round.
Let's be honest, mine's literally 2 or 3 days a week when I'm home. It's like, Joe. I get it. It's hard to admit when you're wrong, but what are we doing? We need to respect our boots, but we got to get rid of the suits. Like, if there is anybody who's thinking about not voting this year, if this is not what we've seen to get you going, there should be record number of votes going when the Senate and the House is up, because how is any administration? I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist, but the first thing I would have done was I would have killed their social media platform. You realize the Taliban is not only pushing their propaganda, they're also using it to find where people are hiding. That flag on the building went everywhere. They're getting world recognition. But yet, if you say a bad thing about somebody, or if you were in the 5th grade and said the wrong thing, you're canceled or whatever. But here's a platform where people are actually dying.
Right.
We're seeing it on the streets. We're getting text messages and messages from all around the world, hearing about people being shot at and kept away from airports. And we're seeing all these horrible things. And all we've gotten so far is a scathing email.
Right.
That was sent.
By the UN.
That's the UN. We sent a scathing email. Not working.
Yeah.
Great point. How about, just send, you know what? I get it. You're woke. Maybe just send the video of the bomb that President Trump dropped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe send that. Or say, he's a phone call away. Whatever, because there was a time you didn't like what he said on Twitter, so you took him off. But his foreign policy, every one of those countries fought before they stepped.
Yeah.
Now they're just like our borders. It's open season. And they're literally posting while they do it. That's how arrogant and confident they are based on this spineless administration.
Yeah.
They need to send the Soleimani picture.
Yeah,
send
that's
the
true.
picture of what they did to what we did to Soleimani
Yeah.
and clean all that up.
Yeah. Kat, what I miss is, listening or reading any of Chrissy Teigen's tweets about the Taliban. I think there's a big empty space.
I think that she might have been able to solve this.
I think so, too. Her withering wit.
Yeah, absolutely. I, for one, was very shocked to hear Biden say that he doesn't think that the Taliban is killing people, because I've seen the videos and not a mask in sight.
Yeah.
Okay, none of them.
Yes.
So, and they're not, they're also not using their platform to encourage vaccination.
That is true.
So, murderers,
Yeah.
all on their own. I mean, look, it's so gross to watch so many of these things on so many levels, and not least of all, that news conference with the generals and the top military guys complaining about erroneous reporting.
Right.
After the years of that they fed us about this war and putting people in harm's way based on lies, cry me a river. Shut up.
Only one from Kat today.
Okay.
Yeah. You get 2 more for the rest of the show. So parse them
I
out.
don't have any more planned.
Well, okay. Well, then.
Depends on where it goes, I guess.
Okay. All right.